Hello Hoovy and welcome to the third channel. Welcome to today's video. Today is a different type of video. I've just announced over on TGM Productions that the YouTube channel Comedy Clippings, my 12th YouTube channel, is sadly being deleted. What that means is I'll have 11 YouTube channels instead of 12. The channel the video, what's happening with this video is why is it called Comedy Clippings Series 1 Episode 1? It's not a series on this channel. It's because I wanted to show you the intro to Comedy Clippings and I wanted to save that video because the video that I've downloaded and the one I've got isn't copyrighted. It's the only non-copyrighted video on that channel, well, as well as the welcome video. So I wanted to show it off and I thought, where's the best place to show that video off? And it's here on the weird side. So I'm announcing that the video you're about to see is going to be from Comedy Clippings, but you'll see my outro at the beginning. It's my intro, my outro, Comedy Clippings, the clip and the intro, because I'm very proud of that intro and I want to show it off. And when I'm proud of stuff, I want to show it off, and that channel is going to have the word delete pressed on it, so it'll no longer be in the here on my channel's thing. But I've enjoyed it whilst it lasted. I enjoyed the banner, I loved the logo, I enjoyed everything about it. But all good things have to come to an end, and sadly, it's his time to end. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back for more nonsense tomorrow. Time on to out. Bye! Enjoy!
I could be your number one. I could be your Anthony Bennett. I'll be your Anthony Bennett. I ain't no one and done. I could be your Anthony Bennett. I'll be your Anthony Bennett. And if you call my number, I come running like the mirrors up in you in LV. I know my roof is high.
Hello and welcome to Comedy Clippings. I'm your host Mason, and today we're hacking back to 2012. Back in 2012 we had the Summer Olympics and we had the Summer Paralympics. Channel 4 found it as a good opportunity to create a comedy after show for the Olympics. What was for the Paralympics, because Channel 4 owned the right to the Paralympics. What was born was a gem that lasted 10 years, called The Last Leg. It starred Alex Brooker, who had a 9-day contract with Channel 4, Josh Widdicombe, a stand-up comedian, and Adam Hills, a stand-up comedian. 2 British and 1 Australian. What could go wrong? Nothing. It ended up being a perfect partnership. The clip you're about to see has been heavily edited. Why? One, because I didn't want to get copyrighted to remove some of the music, because the clip I found, luckily enough, had the original theme tune, but obviously, well, it's the same theme tune, but the original credit. But obviously, copyright reasons, I can't show that. So I cut that down, and I've also made it more family friendly. This is taken from the final episode of The Last Leg for the Paralympics, which they thought was going to be the last episode ever. And it's also it's also showing off that 10 years ago was 2012, which I find shocking sometimes. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. I've been your host, Mason. Until next time, remember, keep chopping up those comedy clips.
Welcome to the last leg of today's coverage of the London 2012 Paralympic Games on a day where records smashed, wheelchairs crashed, and we had one last splash. As always, I'm joined on the couch by Dartmoor under-10 bagpipe provocateur Josh Widdicombe, and a man that not only moves like Jagger but will soon be round his house for a cup of tea, Alex Brooker. Now, yeah, I think it's fair to say we've been in a weird little bubble here making the show for the past couple of weeks. We weren't really sure if people were watching or what they were thinking. We were getting a lot of stuff on Twitter.
We were hoping people were watching.
We were hoping people were watching.
We've been in a very awkward situation if we'd come out and there'd been no one watching for 10 days.
I would have been all right with it.
Well, I'm glad you were.
But you guys went out into the park today, had a bit of a look around in Olympic Park. What happened?
We decided to go and watch Ellie Simmons in the swimming.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, we'll just get one of those little buggies across.
Yeah.
And It turned into a kind of hard day's night situation. It was very awkward.
You guys were mobbed in the Olympic Park.
I wouldn't go that far, but someone offered Alex a high five.
Yeah, sort of. We were just sitting there waiting to go, and some guy just comes running over, and he's like, "Is it okay to get a high five with you?" And just sort of slapped my hand. I was like, "Well, there's your answer, mate." But I do kind of wish I'd have just pretended to be offended and gone, "No, it's not. Go away."
My favourite person was the person that shouted out, "Hey guys, I love the final leg."
And look, we were in the athletes' village today. I was approached by one of the Spanish athletes, one of the swimmers, who said every night at the end of their swim meet, they go back, they're exhausted, they sit down, they watch the last leg, they have a laugh. We know for a fact that the US wheelchair rugby team were breaking their curfew every night to watch the show.
And what happened to them today?
They lost today.
No, don't share that. They're watching. They're going to have you.
We love the fact that you've been watching, guys, and we were cheering for you today as well. So, you know, we all feel your pain as well. Listen, tonight on the show, we'll be recapping some of our favourite moments, including a man that got ahead of himself.
Just confuses.
A man that showed a lot of himself. And a man that gave all of himself. Oh. Plus, we'll be joined by a cavalcade of presenters and Paralympians and maybe even a TV star in an hour-long send-off for the last leg. All right, it's time to get into the Is It OKs. Now, if you've been watching over the past couple of weeks, people have been tweeting in questions that they want to ask. They're not sure if they're allowed to. We have our final batch tonight, including one from @Darren Jallan that said, "Is it okay that a show about the Paralympics makes its audience stand?"
I mean, we don't make... It would be much more offensive if we put them all in wheelchairs.
Yes, it would be.
That would be a lot worse.
And a lot of people were saying, is it okay to actually say, would you please stand for the national anthem? But all of the announcers said, for those who are able, would you please stand for the national anthem at all of the events? So, you know, they weren't being ignorant. Alex, have you got one?
Yep. The Marketech tweeted and say, "Is it okay to be considering chopping off my left hand, in brackets I'm right-handed, to enable me to enter the Paralympics in Rio?" Well, the Marketech, you could do that, but I'd probably suggest that you get good at a sport first, because just turning up in Rio and going, "Here, this is missing," isn't going to qualify you for Great Britain.
Josh?
Yeah, we've got one @Rob Moriarty. Is it okay when being introduced to a quad athlete to try and shake their hand when they can't?
Well, I think it'd be worse if you patted them on the head, wouldn't it?
Well, you're a hand issues expert.
Yeah.
You're our hand issues expert.
Oh, as I've always wanted to be described.
What's the protocol? If you see someone with, like, a stump, do you shake it? What do you do?
I'll just go for a cuddle.
Oh, that's nice.
But you're far too quick to move in for the cuddle.
Yeah, I am. I'm easy on that front.
I think, and if you are genuinely, like, I met there's Ahmed Kelly is one of the Australian athletes who's lost both his limbs above the elbow. And I met him today, and I've heard a lot about him in Australia, and I was really excited to meet him, and I kind of went, do I? And then he offered the stump, and I went, yes, I do.
And he was just pointing. It was very awkward. I find it difficult enough if someone's got full use of their arms. You don't know to go in for the kiss. I just find it difficult meeting anyone.
Don't kiss the stump.
Don't kiss the stump.
No, just shake it first.
I'm glad you said that.
No.
That would have been very awkward.
Good to know. Alex, have you got another one?
Yep, Emma Tabor asked, "Is it okay to steal your friend's fake leg on the beach to play rounders?" Well, I mean, you could do, but your mate's going to have a really bad time, aren't they? They're not going to be able to join in.
No. Do you know what? I'm going to say this is, out of all the ones we've had, this is the first, no, it's not okay. No, do not ever steal someone's prosthetic
Which is awkward because it's the first one I've actually done.
And Josh, bring us home.
@Music108, is it okay to ask if you break in a new leg like you do with a pair of shoes?
Yeah, well, Alex and I both have prosthetic feet, and I think we'd both say yes.
Yeah, it's like when you're in the shop, isn't it, and you walk around in them a little bit before you take it home.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Do you know what I find when
Do you have a fitting where you'll do that walk that you do in a shop?
Yeah, with little barriers down the side. It's like a catwalk, but just with loads of people without legs in there.
It's like a catwalk for really drunk models. It could teetle over at any time. Do you know what I find whenever I get a new prosthetic foot? It's always a lot springier, like it's got a lot more resistance. So I find I accidentally drive home faster. Seriously, because that foot goes.
Is that what you tell the police officer? Sorry, I've just got a new prosthetic foot. That's why I was doing 80 in a 30 zone.
The first time I start walking on it as well, you get home and you forget, or you get up out of a chair and you forget you've got a springier foot. And I find one leg just really goes ahead further than the other.
Yeah.
It's springy. Is it spring? It's not spring.
Well,
Loaded,
no, but the more you push
Like a
down
wind-up
on it,
toy.
the more you push down on your foot, the more it springs back. I think we've covered all of the questions we possibly could over the Paralympics. Now listen, time flies when you're having fun. We've had so much fun. We're finding it hard to believe we're at the end.